Hello students, it's Mr. Robert Burrell here, and today we're looking at three-part harmony. The normal chord has three notes, the root, the third and the fifth. The problems come when we have a dominant seventh chord which has four notes, because we then have to leave one out. We always keep the third and the seventh. Next we choose the root if possible. If we can't have the root of the chord, then we have the fifth. So let's put this into practical action. If I want a C chord, and I'll just bring that down out of those letters. If I want a C chord, I can have C, E, G in root position. I can have it like this. That's in first inversion, and here it is in second inversion. And I can go back to a root position up here. All of this is three-part harmony. Obviously we can also spread it, so we can have C here, G here, and E up there. All of these types of combinations are available to us. This is still a C chord. Each one of these, of course, gives you a different sound. If I wanted to have an F chord, and I'll go to the next bar, the F, I'll put in an F, which is the root of the chord, the third and the fifth. I can voice that with the root here and the fifth and the third up there, or I can have the third in the bottom, which is a first inversion. Another way of orchestrating that might be like this, and we can do it this way as well. Need not be up that high, we can have C in the bottom, and then of course we can go like this. All of these are three-note chords, and this is very straightforward. If I want a G chord, we have our three notes. And all of its variations. It becomes more interesting when we want a G7. Let's put a variation in first though. Here's a first inversion. And I'll just scroll down to the next line. Now we want a G7 chord. G7, of course, has four notes: G, B, D, and the F. We only have three voices in our three-part harmony, so something has to be sacrificed. We must always keep the third and the seventh. We always keep them. Okay? So, what do we want? Our first choice for our third voice is this one here, the root. We can voice it like this. It is still a G7 chord, and we still have the root. It could even be like this, which is a really funky way of doing it. Another way to voice that would be, if we can't keep the root of the chord, then we have to have the third, we have to have the seventh, and then we can have the fifth. This, of course, sounds very much like a B diminished chord, but we're thinking of arranging, and when we're arranging we almost always have a bass player playing some bass notes. So we're thinking here of our saxophones or trumpets or something like that. So whilst the root note isn't present, it doesn't matter, because it'll be down in a bass or the bass of the piano. Okay, so we can orchestrate it like that. We can obviously orchestrate it like this, with the fifth, the seventh, and the third. We can have our seventh here, and our third there, and the fifth there, and so on and so forth. So now it's time to think of a way of doing this with some practical application. And